Hello, it's Esther. I'm back for another episode of Exploring Creativity. We're on episode 16, and this week it's about the Aesthete Anarchist, not anarchist, an aesthetic anarchist, which I will be discussing, and you can see the lead on behind me. That is what it eventually went into. But I'm going to take a moment right now to let you know that I'm going to be joining the platform of Patreon, which I will join for next Friday. And until then, you're going to be hearing more about it, so I won't go into much detail. But it is an amazing invention of the 21st century, Patreon. If you don't already know it, it's a platform where creators, let's see, what have I written here? It's an online platform where you can support artists and creators such as myself so that we can carry on making our creations. There's musicians, there's all sorts of creators. And then what we can give back to you, because you support us financially on a very small level, like a monthly payment. It could be $1 a month, and in response we give you behind the scenes of what's going on, questions and answers, and all sorts of merch like stickers and tattoos. I swear there's tattoos, my work in tattoos, I can't even go there. It's gonna be so amazing. I love tattoos. Okay, or at least I would like rub-offable tattoos. I'm a bit of a commitment phobe, so a real tattoo I'd have a hard time with. So, which reminds me, let's get to the paintings, because there are things in here that I love them, but I'm going to let you know. I might change some things, or I could change things, or that's how the work goes. It works and changing out. So I'm going to turn around. Within Exploring Creativity, we're going to take about a few minutes to look at a piece of work that I've made over this time. A little bit more in-depth, going into the metaphorical, going into some of the issues that I work through, not necessarily psychological, but aesthetic, which go into sometimes intellectual, spiritual, ridiculous, whateverness, whatever seems important, because it's important to look at things that mean something to you. So I'm going to turn the camera around. And very likely, if you're looking at this on a recording, it will blink out on you, or it blinks out on me. Maybe it won't blink out on you, but it blacks out. And if you just jig it 1 second further, it'll come right back in, and you'll be right on there where you want to be, hearing all about this work. So this is a painting. Okay, you've got it. You've got the big grandchildren behind you, and now we will look at this. Here we go. Let's come back. You're going to be narrow on it if you're on a little narrow screen. It's a triptych. Yes, you see books, but it's a triptych from 2007. And to give you a little bit of insight into my personal life, 2007 is the year I gave birth to my third child. Actually, I'm going to turn the screen. It's going to tell me I can't, but I'm going to do it so that you can actually see it. I hope you can see it, even if it's vertical. It doesn't matter. It tells me I should rotate my phone. So let's look a little bit closer. Let's just take a moment to look at it a little bit closer. Let's do a scan like it was a panoramic, and I'm following the arrow. Let's see. Let's follow it along. All kinds of different things going on there. It's important for you to see things that are going on there. Okay. I'm actually not going to be able to put you in fully on the screen. Maybe I'll move a little bit. Let me move a little bit so that you can go into a little bit of a diagonal. All right, so some of the things that were going on. Okay, I had my third child. Woohoo! Any ladies out there? Any parents out there? Ooh, we got people out there. Okay, so anyway, you got a third child and you're trying to keep your art alive, and you're actually the one taking care of those kids. That was my story. And it was intense. It was an intense time. Lots of spiritual growth during that time. I'll tell you. I'll tell you if you join Patreon. Haha. Okay, so lots of spiritual growth. And aesthetically, I wanted to get things on canvas. I needed pieces to exist. And let's look at the colors first. Let's look at this with an aesthetic eye. I was eating triple chocolate ice cream at the time. I gotta tell you, it was white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate. And I'll tell you, it's beautiful. And it had little stripples through it. Little stripples of other chocolates in it. Aren't those beautiful colors? Let's get inspired. I don't know. Was I eating chocolate at the time? I might be making that up. This was 2007. That was a frickin' long time ago. About a few lifetimes ago. What were you doing in 2007? Do you know? Okay, so these colors happen on paint backgrounds. These paintings, I actually am someone who likes to paint on a pretty solid surface. So we're going to go in, we're going to talk about the messed up bits later, because they're not messed up bits. Actually, those are my favorite parts of the painting. But the coat that you paint on, the white coat and the light brown coat, I would put like 8 coats, 10 coats of what they call gesso, acrylic gesso as the base, because I like a nice solid base. The canvas doesn't come through, the grain of the canvas doesn't come through. It's a pretty smooth, sanded down coat to work on. It makes a nice fine surface. And I was experimenting with the vocabularies. I'd been working on large drawings previously that had a lot of stuff going on. And I wanted to see what would happen on the canvas when we play with this vocabulary. Now, these are older, you remember, so I've worked out a lot of things since. And we've got these long little colory chains on these little asteroid fields before them. Now, I'm going to say things I probably shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it anyway. If these were sitting in my studio, which they haven't been, I don't think I could help myself. I loved it at the time, but I feel I would need to change things. I would need to muck about. Because one of the things I find interesting here, come in with me and look here. For me, now this is me personally. Some other people would take it another way. But the way this, I guess it's all that negative space. You have things coming in and out. You have various shapes that, I'm not sure about that. I mean, there's something. Maybe if you had more of these things going about, there's a way of making them go in and out. And there's also this element, which I love them. I was looking at a lot of illuminated manuscripts at the time. Love those illuminated manuscripts. And I will not kid you that, oh, good, we got some fans out there. Thank you so much for showing up. But let me get back to the illuminated manuscripts. Okay, the illuminated manuscripts, they're beautiful. Look at illuminated manuscripts. You don't even have to go somewhere to look at them. I mean, it's better, but... So I loved that beautiful, but I'm looking at how this, here, and here, they're beautiful. And I didn't know how to get them into it, though. It's almost like the painting is made around those, which may be what it was about. Maybe I'll look at this again in 10 years, and that's what it's about. But then when you've got these weavings in, when it becomes part of it, when it becomes connected in, and those are things that I worked on as the paintings evolved. As they evolved over the time, it's like, which parts are important now? And you can see that on my website. You can see that when you look chronologically, different things were happening. But we're working in a triptych here, making the connections. You can see it run through. Look at that. It runs through. It connects. It goes around. Yay! Almost like a roller coaster. Can you feel it? Can you feel the movement? You feel how that goes through and around and it comes up. So there's a connection. Sometimes the connections are opposites. Some of these are not quite connected. I mean, I don't want to make it too obvious. And look at that one. It just leaves off. You know, it's not like A, B, C, D. You know, there's an element of disconnect, to pick up, to go off, to sprout off. There's elements. It's funny because when you're working in a studio, a lot of painters will say, you know, they picked up a painting, they made their painting, and then, actually, wait a minute, we're going to flip around. We're going to flip right around without flipping around. Let's see. We're going to turn. We're going to just turn. Because over here, oh, there's no way I'm going to ever be able to come back from this because it's just too big. But in 2008, I mean, I was just, you know, messing about. Now, this is big. That's a piano behind it. So we've got a big triptych going on. Ah, which reminds me, I forgot to talk about one. Well, we'll come back to it. So the small bit was so that we could then figure out some things in the bigger bit. But you try things out on the smaller bit, and let's go through the full look. Check her out. I see a little heart there. That's nice. Let's check the full piece out. And now let's go in and get some little close-ups. Let's see. Hey there. We want to get some full-on. Now this one has a different title because it's bigger. It is the weakness of a great man that is a fault in his character, but which makes him so much more interesting. Or something like that. It's a W. Somerset Maugham quote. And these quotes, Aesthete, Anarchist, which I'm going to go right back to because I forgot to tell you something over here. W. Somerset Maugham quote, this is the Aesthete, Anarchist. On these titles, let's just rip around into titles, why not? You know, hey. In the titles, they're about the work, but they're not about the work. They're as much about the work as anything else is about the work. A title comes along to me, words come to me, and eventually they may stick on a piece of art. A piece of art might stick underneath the title. Just like ideas about the colors and the lines, it's like words might stick into it. So, but what I wanted to come back here for also, besides the title, did I tell you enough about the title? Is look at it got messed up. Look at the painting got messed up. It's all ripped up. And it was because it got stuck to this one over here. I hope I'm not making you dizzy with all this movement. It got over here. And look at the mess up. It was too wet. And it got stuck onto each other. And it was before I made the painting. But I just thought that was so beautiful. You can see the linen. You can see the linen coming through. And how it ended up looking really good with the colors of the painting. I didn't know I was going to use those colors. I'm sure that the painting worked with it. It's that nice kind of contrasting of unexpected, uncontrolled versus controlled. I do often like that kind of a contrast. So here we go. Have I told you everything I wanted to tell you? Let's see. When I look at it now, there are things I would change. There are things that are interesting. The interesting areas are the asteroid areas for me. Look at those asteroids. The colors, I like the way the colors work together and how the things flow into disconnect and interconnect, and these dragon-like elements. They fleur de lis, the dragons, those insignias. But then there's elements in it that I would change, you know, like the uniformity, uniformity, that's not the word, the monotony, the circles, the little circles, and the interaction between these things. It's things that could be worked on, that I would work on. I mean, sometimes you leave something behind you and that's where it is. And sometimes it comes right back out when it's in your studio and you just keep working on it. So like life, you keep working on things. You know, make it link, make it not link. And those ripped elements and the hazard of all that. Anyway, we're going to flip you around. Say goodbye. You know me, I like a long goodbye. And you've got the weakness of a great man behind you. It's what makes him so interesting. You can see all these on my website, estherscherer.com. And I don't know what else to say. I could talk about life, but I probably won't. I'll save that for my Patreon. Anyway, it's so good seeing you and having this moment to share some work, talk about some stuff, figure out some metaphors about life, and, you know, think about stuff that's just, it's weird. It's not that, it's actually more important. I would say it's not as important. It's not as important as, you know, I don't know, whatever. I'm going places. I'm wandering around. It's nice that you come to join us explore creativity and where these paintings are coming from. You take it easy, stay in good health, lots of love to you, and look forward to seeing you next week. Ciao, ciao.